The question is, why are you a failure? This is something I've mulled over, and I've come to the conclusion with my beautiful mind. Most of you are failures because you aim the opposite direction of this principle. Bear your yoke in your youth. Society and mainstream media teaches the exact opposite. They teach you to delay responsibility for as long as possible till something external happens. Don't start that business till you've attained a quite a big enough physique. Don't do XYZ. Don't go after your dreams. Don't chase something you want until you're done with school. We all have big dreams. We all have big aspirations. We all want to do something with our lives. You take that goal to mommy, to daddy, or guardian perhaps, someone you respect. When you're done with school, you start. You must be right. No. And after every single thing, years later, you want to play the victim. You want to blame your parents for killing your dream. Here's what happened. You were intelligent enough to foresee for anything worthy of admiration to be achieved. You have to suffer. You foresaw the sacrifice, the pain, the agony, the ridicule, the isolation, and every single thing you will give up for the attainment of that goal. Your parents' advice reinforced the lust, the appetite to take the path of least resistance. So you conform to your parents' ideal, not because they were right necessarily, but they reinforce this idea, this loss of laziness, this loss of lack of pain and suffering. And years later, you want to play the victim. It's asinine. It's stupid. I share similar story. When I got a glimpse of what we will be doing now, I took that goal, that dream, to someone I quite respect, even up until this day. Welcomed with sneers and jests. You would never do this. Go to school, get a job. Once you're done, you'll be able to execute this financial goal. It's impossible for you to do this. How are you going to get the money they said? And on a long enough time frame, because those goals haven't materialized, they would make fun of you. They would jest about the goals. Oh, you said you were going to do this. Where's your private jet? Where's your Mercedes? Where's every single thing you said you were going to do? This person, to leverage on his experience on rental property, I came to him, devise all possible outcomes and permutations. What if XYZ goes wrong? How will you solve this? XYZ, what will happen if this happens? And he welcomed me by laughing me out of the room. Welcomed with sneers and jest and ridicule. This would never happen. There's no way you're going to execute this financial goal. And after 2 years of busting my butt, grinding as hard as possible, guess what? Nothing happened. And this is the problem with the entrepreneurial space as a whole. The network of gurus and these shamans who would use phrases like walk in silence, let your success be loud, work in private, let your results be public. They forget to tell you that sometimes after working hard and long and you do not see the material success in form of a yacht, a boat, a vacation to Spain, that reaffirms the sacrifices of not taking the pill, the sacrifice of missing birthday parties, the sacrifice of not going to club, leaving women, relinquishing your lustful youth abilities, relinquishing every single thing you used to love. Some of you gave up sport, some of you gave up video games, some of you gave up all shades of addiction, and there's nothing, no physical material thing that can reinforce the fact that you made the right decision. What happens then after making those audacious statements to your colleague, to your workplace, to your boss, to your manager, just as soon as you resign? Check me out after 2 to 3 years and you see, and you're forced to duck when you see your friends because they pull up with a Mercedes they got either through fraudulent schemes, internet scams, or faking the path of least resistance, wallowing in security, wallowing in a job and being comfortable. What happens then? And you're driving a beat up car with a $2 slide. What happens? What happens when you experience all shades of difficulty? What happens then? My friend, as you foresaw intelligently, anything worthy of admiration is difficult to do. And if there's any advice I would give for anyone who aspires to be an entrepreneur or to do something striking with his life, is courage. Courage is what you need to achieve your goal. My friend, it is difficult. It's not just difficult in the sense that the activities or the consecration demands are difficult, which I'm not disputing. However, you will be laughed at, you will be ridiculed, you will be misunderstood most of the time. This man had an idea. His friends laughed at him. How do you suppose the human voice can be heard within miles without any means or physical aid of wires? You're fucking stupid. Took him to the psychiatric hospital. The doctor confirmed he was okay, but our old friend Alexander Graham Bell would not give up. And anytime we pick up the telephone, we salute the man who stayed on course, who was disciplined, courageous enough to go after that goal. Most of you lack courage. Most of you lack courage. Most of you over explain yourself. You want every single person to understand what you're doing. My friend, if it's you I just diagnosed, all you're doing is to try and create cheerleaders, giving them daily feedback on every single thing you're doing. Oh, my friend, I'm just reading this book in order to position you to be better in the future. I'm reading this book because there's a correlation to my finances, and you're taking hours of your time to try and explain to everybody, convert wolves and doubters, unbelievers to cheerleaders. My friend, you would have haters. You would have haters. You cannot please everybody. Even Jesus Christ, the apostle of our faith, was stoned. The apostle of our faith was ridiculed. This goes to say equal and opposite forces exist. It's impossible to have it one way. Now, as terrible as the devil is, there are people who still worship him. Does he kill? Yes. Does he steal? Yes. Does he still destroy? I want to worship you. Even terrorists have wives. I'll repeat it again for your hearing. Even terrorists have wives and still struggling to get injected. With all of those anecdotes and analogies, the point I want to highlight, if you're intelligent enough, you would have grasped by now, is this idea. You can't convince everybody. Stop giving people daily updates. Stop telling them what you're doing. Stop trying to justify your actions to people who don't have the kind of life you want. Who cares about their opinions? So my friend, courage is the number one virtue you need to sustain in order to achieve anything worthy of admiration. You need courage. As always, my friend, pleasure speaking to you. That's all you need to.